7 days left for trial.
That's on
On StreamYard.
StreamYard. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, baby. I think you're the only one in, unless she left. All right. There you go. Invite. Cool. Let me see how that works out.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, man, how you so perfect?
That's perfect.
Oh, turn your volume down on your end.
On the
Yeah,
phone.
on the phone.
On the phone.
Yeah, I think I got the volume down on my phone.
How's that?
That's good.
Perfect.
All right, I got to turn on my media too. Unless I'm hearing echo on my end. And
I do hear it through your end. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Oh, it's gonna be messy. I never did live on both ends.
Hey, we're gonna figure it out, man. I think the issue is that we're doing it live at the same time together, right? So it's like four things. It's two phones and two laptops. But
Right.
work it out. Work the kinks out.
I'm gonna try to move the mic this way. Do you hear any echo on your end?
I hear it on your end, just a little bit though. It's not bad though.
All right. Might have to change sensitivity.
Yeah, it's not too bad though.
All right. Well, you got like a couple people in.
What's going on, y'all?
Yep. So right now I don't see any comments coming in. But let's go on and just knock this out.
Let's do it.
Well, first off, Eric, I want to say thanks you for being on the show. And thank you again for everything that you were doing with the reselling business. So you've actually opened up my eyes a lot to eBay and what it can actually do. I actually thought it was a scam business so long ago.
It gets a bad rep, man. Just there have been a lot of bad sellers that they've tried to get off the platform and out of the community. So yeah, they're trying. Hey, what's going on, Dana? My guy Dana's in here. Thank you, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of folks coming in. All right, we'll take it
for sure.
Yeah. So with this the thing I wanted to go live with you about was because I actually do plan on doing I got your episode coming out this Monday.
Nice.
So I got that scheduled. I didn't show that as a premiere yet. I actually still have it hidden on YouTube, but it's gonna come through soon.
Nice.
Yeah. So how's everything been? I think we recorded like almost 3 weeks ago.
I think so. Time flies, man, with adult life, right? Like work, traffic, groceries, like time just flies. But I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Nice. So what is I have the question up here. So is selling on eBay a lot better than Facebook Marketplace?
I think it depends on the items and the seller. Like for me, I'd rather not sell on Marketplace. It's just for me, in my experience, and I post about it a lot, trying to do things on Marketplace, people are somewhat flaky, or they change the price of the conversation by the time you meet them. Like my last two attempts before I sold the vinyls, I pretty much got stood up. Like I went to the location at the time we're supposed to be there, and the person never showed up. And eventually get that text of, oh, I forgot. Whereas one of the guys I talk to a lot, Tokyo Thrifts on Instagram, he kills it on Marketplace. And that's because the way he does it, he ships through Marketplace. Marketplace now has the option for you to ship items. And he does really well with that, and a couple other people do too. But for me, Marketplace doesn't reward my energy. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's fair enough, because it's a lot been happening, and you just never trust anybody. So
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I spoke about it a little bit when I sold those records. When the lady got here, she was like, can I take your picture? And I'm like, why do you want to take my picture? And she was like, just in case you kill me. Yeah, it threw me off initially, but think about it more. You do want to be as safe as possible when you're meeting strangers that you met on a social platform. So
yeah. I'm actually putting in headphones into the phone so I can get a little closer to the mic here.
gotcha.
Yeah. Because it was actually irritating me like really bad.
Hey,
Huh?
my man Valencia was in here when he jumped out.
Uh yeah, it seemed like quite a few folks that dipped out. But it's
Even
cool though.
what's going on?
Yeah, so yeah man, so one of the things like coming up with eBay and people trying to make a living, what does it really look like for you?
For me, it seems like it's going to be a longer road than most. And I say that just because I feel like I've gotten started a little bit later with what I'm trying to do, and just regular life, kids, daycare, mortgage, um, student loans. I touch on that a lot. There are certain things for me that me and my family have to square away before I can take that leap and break away from the traditional 9 to 5. But it's just time, energy, and math. Is for me what it boils down to now. It's, can I do this amount of work? It'll yield me this amount um, in profits, and then it's okay. Where do I put those profits to get me to that ultimate goal? And it's just been a whole learning experience. Like how you said it, I opened your eyes. My eyes have honestly been opened. Um, I honestly never knew that eBay could be something. Well, let me back up. I never knew that there were people making a full-time living on eBay, and I honestly didn't think it was possible. But doing the work and figuring out what works, yeah, it's definitely a possibility, and a lot of people are doing it successfully.
Yeah, that's the key word, successfully, right?
Successfully, and I definitely don't want to. Hey, what's going on? I definitely don't want to make it seem like it's
Hey,
Byron,
Fritz
what's going
Fritz.
on, brother? My man Valencia's in here. I
Nice.
definitely don't want to make it seem like it's easy.
Mhm.
And sometimes, including myself, I've made it harder in the beginning, harder on myself than it needed to be. Like watching tutorials on YouTube, following people, and then straying away. Like, oh, they do it this way, but I can do it my own way, and it can still work. And that does work some of the time, but if you don't have those basic things in place, no matter what you do, it's just not going to work. If you don't have basic systems in place to get you to the level you want to be at, it's just not going to work. And for me, that was not paying attention to how much things cost versus how much they'll sell for. Um, Buying things because I think they're cool rather than them being profitable. And that happened a lot last year and at the beginning of this year. Um, and I was lucky enough to stumble upon a lot of great people on Instagram, and that's again thanks to you
Oh,
getting me on Instagram, man.
yeah.
Stumbled upon a lot of great people, and my business has completely 360. And like I always say, I don't see any stop signs.
Man, you've been doing quite a bit. Honestly, like consistency though, man. I can give you applause on that. I think you post what at least 5 times a day now, right?
I try to. I try to. And to be honest, it's social media a lot is for engaging with other people, but honestly, I do it for myself. I post a lot for myself because um, it keeps me in the moment. It keeps me consistent. That's my way of telling myself, okay, if you didn't post about it, if you didn't show your work, right? Like they always say, show your work, then you didn't do anything today. So I try to post every day. If I don't make a post, I definitely do a story at the end of the night. Me and the guys are still doing our listing, like our consistent listing habits, we post about them every night. And that has a lot to do with this success too. Like having a group of like-minded people cheering you on, genuinely wanting to see you do good, and also holding themselves accountable. Like that has shot the business even further as well.
Man, that's great.
It's
Because
incredible.
I
I'm
mean,
shocked.
you should.
Yeah, I'm really shocked, man. I'm really shocked.
But the wife and kids enjoying it too, right?
They do. My wife, like you saw yesterday, I sourced from 8 in the morning to about 3. And I got 106 pairs of shoes. And I was so wiped out from yesterday, and I knew I still had stuff to list. So all those shoes are still sitting in my trunk. So my
Wow.
wife's like, "All right, after the live, you're gonna get them shoes out so we can look at them." Right? So she's gets really excited to help me go through the inventory, and I always say she helps me with the business, building drafts and stuff. So she's excited for me to get them inventoried, get them in the drafts, so she can go ahead and start working on them and earning some money. And the kids, my kids are young, 3 and 5, so they just enjoy anything new that comes in the house, right? They're like, "Oh, what's this?" Or when I'm building these shelves behind me, my youngest was helping me last week, or helping daddy. Daddy, I'll hold it for you, and all right, that's cool. So it's fun, and as they get older, I want to pull them in to do more with it and just show them there's options, right? There's options in knowing different things. School is great. I went to school, I went back to school. I strayed away for a long time, and it was good. But I think there's something to be said about literally building something with your hands that you can wash, rinse, and repeat, right? And make a living, earn great money and great experiences too.
Yeah, I mean it's rare that I can say it's not really rare. It's rare nowadays. Yeah, Dana. Is it Danae?
Dana,
Dana? Yeah, Dana had a great great comment
me
there.
too, V.
Yeah,
Yeah,
saying
that's
that
part of
posting
the
to
big
help
problem.
others. Lots of people have questions but are afraid to ask. That is so key. So how do you? Well, let's go on and run off with Dana's question. How did you get over that fear of asking?
Um, how do I say? I think for me, it was steps, right? It was first watching on YouTube, and then there was that getting over that hump of putting it into action, right? You can watch YouTube all day, but if you don't do it, it's just entertainment, right? Um, it was that step, that first step, actually doing it and seeing how hard it is and what it takes. That second step was meeting like-minded people that don't mind sharing information with you. And then it was just, okay, yeah, let me start seeking it from the people, like specific questions, not just reselling in general. It's okay for this specific thing, could you give me some help with it? And I think that was you too. I
Yeah.
think you started that too. I honestly think we had a talk at work
Hmm.
um, about something, and you were like, just reach out to him and ask him. And I wish I could remember because it was fire too. It was crazy. I remember the next day I came in and I told you about it. Dang, I wish I could remember. But yeah, just I guess it all boils down to encouragement. People giving positive encouragement as I talk about things, and they're like, "Oh, you're serious about it? Okay, try this out, try that out, and then see where it takes you." And man, sky's the limit. There's no breaks, there's no stop signs, there's no distractions. Yeah, there's only one goal.
To make money.
Not so, so I will say this. That's the weird thing, right? Like I don't see it as money. I see
Hmm.
it as opportunity to be free. Um,
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we have to use money to survive, right? Like daycare ain't free, groceries ain't free, but for me, that bigger picture is okay, can I make enough profit off of what I'm doing to live the same lifestyle within or under our means, and then double that once I'm full time, so all the rest of that can even more can contribute even more to what we want our goals to be, which is retire at a reasonable age, still have put money into your IRA, still have health care. Like, can this take me there, right? And there's a specific dollar amount for that, but that's all it is. It's just a dollar amount. Other than that, it's just numbers.
Right. So you
Just
actually enjoying more so that's the, because you can say like the fun in doing that, doing everything.
the journey of it.
Right.
Like, it's for me, it's more rewarding. And it's not specifically about each pair of shoes, but it's more rewarding to me to know that I went out, I learned this skill, I applied this skill, and it's coming back tenfold, right?
Nice.
And that skill, I can build on that for the rest of my life and grow a business, grow another business, and take care of my family, teach my family how to do those same things, right? Like, that's crazy to me because ask any of my friends, I've always been like kind of like safe, I guess you say, right? Like, head down, do your job, do your 8 hours, go home, go on vacation when they allow you, take your sick days when you can. I've always played that role, and last year taught me that I don't have to do that, and I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want that, which is it's weird. That's why I said the last time we talked, when I started talking about all this stuff with my wife, she's like, I know she's probably thinking he having a midlife crisis right now. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, but it's something super rewarding about it, man.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of us overlook is taking that time out to understand what our what would you say, like our potential
Yeah,
of actually being able to do something. And a lot of people, I mean, for me specifically, even when it comes to reselling, like I'm watching you do it, but for me to do it, no, I'm like, no, I can't do this.
I said the same thing. I
Right.
said the same thing. Literally anybody could do it. All it is learning the process, sticking to a process, and then just seeing it through. Like that's literally all it is. And I always say, beginning of the year, a few months ago, April, I was saying there's no way I could list 5 to 6 items a day. Now it's 15 to 20 a day. Like, and I know if I get faster, get better, and kind of why I changed the way I sourcing for things that are easier to clean and take less time to clean. I'm sure I could do more with the time that I have. So you could do it. It like anybody could do it, man. Like, if you scroll all the way back to my few posts to now, even I would say that's a different page. Like, that's not even the same person.
Wow.
Just the drive is different.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It is definitely, it's very rewarding. And again, like I said, there's something very rewarding about knowing you did it, right? Like,
Right.
I didn't have to ask anybody to do this. I took my money to the store, I bought product, bought inventory, cleaned it, listed it, sold it to a customer successfully, and then I get profits back.
So, like, what does that startup cost then? Like, to get the proper tools to start cleaning it, besides, just a brush underneath the sink and some water in a bucket, it's just, and
That's
maybe the vacuum cleaner.
that's a good question. So, if the future me knew the past me, I would completely change the way I started. Now, I don't take it back. I'm glad I did it the way that I did it. But when I first started, even though I was watching people, like I said, I tried my own way, and sold all my records to get all this money. And I sold them because I knew I would get a bunch of money rather quickly because records are kind of trendy right now. So I knew they would sell fast. That yielded about $2,000. Out of that $2,000, I bought a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff that probably a third of it I don't even have anymore because it was unnecessary, including the type of inventory, including things to take photos and setups. That's why I posted that setup last night. Um, you don't need any of that. Like, you can start with all the stuff in your house that you currently have, your cell phone, um, your lights in the lights on a dining room table. You could do it on a sunny day outside. Just take your stuff out, do some research with something that's already in your house,
Mhm.
see how much it costs, find a good area to take your pictures. Do 12, right? As when you're very first starting, take as many pictures as you can, all the angles. Do some research on other listings to see the types of details they're putting in. Look for those items to put the same things in. Get it listed, get it sold, and then get more inventory. It's like you don't need a lot to get started. You can start with everything in your house. Now, the only thing you may have to spend money on is, like, initially some tape, right? Depending on what you're selling, maybe some boxes, but everybody uses Amazon, so you might not even have to buy boxes, right? Like,
Because we all got them.
we all got there are so many things I wish I did in the beginning, because I spent the first part of this year like digging myself out of those mistakes, or what I feel were mistakes, as far as the business goes. But you could get started today. As soon as we get off this live, you could take a picture of something and get it up on eBay in an hour or less. I guarantee you. And depending on what it
somebody,
is, sell by end of the week.
somebody said they saw it in the kitchen. That's great.
I did too. Some of my very first pictures in our other house,
Right.
terrible lighting, black countertops, and I'm taking pictures of stuff. The glare is crazy, but it's all a learning process, and you build on that. And like I said yesterday, just start. It doesn't matter how you start, just start. You'll get better.
Okay. And that's kind of how I did it with this show, with the podcast in the first place, was I started with just my cell phone. And that's the only way I started. I was like, somebody need to hear I don't say somebody need to hear my story, but I was like, maybe somebody is willing to listen to what I have to say about finances, or the different behaviors that I did, or the different things that I've done to kind of talk about finances. And it's really interesting to see how people start, where they end up, just by staying consistent and just trying out new things. Because I think a lot of people are afraid to try new things, or to see, well, they doing it this far. Uh, how can I even get to that level?
Also, I think a
Hey,
lot
look,
of
the
people.
ATL flipper just say what's up. Hey, what's going
ATL,
on?
what's up,
Right.
brother? That's Derek, man. You want to see some crazy shoe finds? Go
Yeah.
follow him.
All right.
He's
I'll let
killing
y'all do that now.
it. But I think a lot of people are afraid to fail, and fail publicly, right? Depending on what they put out, or they only put out their wins. I personally put everything out, because every day isn't great, right? Like, I came last weekend, I came off of 22 sales over the
Mm.
weekend. Then Monday I sold 4 things. I posted that too. Like, your failures will teach you something better. And also, what is a failure, right? Like, do you decide that that's a failure, or did somebody else decide that that's a failure? Because to me, almost everything is a learning experience. If you're doing it, with good intentions, almost everything is a learning experience. And yeah, I think a lot of people are afraid to fail, um, in
Yeah, and
front
that's one
of
of,
family or public or whatever it is.
and like who you're impressing, you know.
That's another thing too. And so that's that was another reason when you were talking about Instagram. For me, it's just like, I don't want to come off as trying to impress or flaunt to do anything like that. And I think that my page comes across as I'm not trying to do any of those things. I'm just showing my process, and if I can share anything that can stop anyone from doing something that I did, then I'd like to do that. And also, put it out there that, yeah, you don't need to start with a bunch of stuff. Like, now it's different, right? Like, I dropped almost $1,000 on inventory yesterday, but that took time. That took selling things and getting profit to build up enough to go out and source that much. Like, it doesn't just happen automatic. Like, for me, I didn't just have it laying around. That was hard work that went back out to more inventory.
Yeah, and I was looking, I was like, man, $1,000 you just got laying around for shoes.
That's hard work, man. That's hard work. And then, when the money comes in, you divvy it up to, you know, business savings, taxes, and then, you know, what can go back out to inventory. And then again, I had to learn you use that money the right way. You don't just go and buy a bunch of cool gadgets that could help your business or fun for the business that really have no value.
But how do you determine on what that is, or you just based on what level you at in learning it all?
For me, it was learning it all. Like I said, I watched a bunch of people on YouTube say, "Oh, you don't need this, you don't need that," and me, I'm like, "Nah, I need that." I had a few big sales. I could buy that. I need that, and it'll help with my business. I need it for this and that, and man, you do, like you. I can't,
Right.
we could talk a whole hour on the things you don't need to just get started. Right? You can make
Yeah.
improvements as you build, but in the beginning, you don't need a lot. Like and that's been the last few months of what I've been doing in the business is getting rid of all these things that I initially bought to help or to make things better that I really didn't need. And now that it's boiled down to like simpler things, it's incredible. Like just the mental clarity is alone is amazing.
See, I might have to figure out like what will I sell that would be good. I know you said start with
Anything,
whatever I got in the house.
anything,
You said anything.
anything, literally anything that you bought, it had value to you and you bought it. So somebody else will see it as valuable too. Maybe, you know, maybe less valuable depending on what it is and the condition and stuff like that. But everything has value for the right customer.
I might have to figure this out because that's something that I would like to try to dabble in. Now, is this something where I gotta put it? Will you actually be wanting doing a consultant, like almost like a consignment shop, where like
Mm.
say I might have some shoes, or I might have, um, since I know that you solely focus on shoes, but say if I have about I don't know like 10 pairs of shoes that I'm trying to get rid of, is it something that I can come to you and say, hey, I got these 10 pairs of shoes, you can keep 80% of the profits. I just want 20% because I don't know what I'm doing, and I just want to get these shoes out of my house. Is that something you're willing to do, or would you just buy them directly from me and then you deal with the rest on the back end?
I would just buy them out. So
Okay.
like I know consignment is a good thing. And I can't remember which person it was, but they were doing it on their YouTube as also a way to get started. Like if you know someone that wants to get rid of stuff but they don't want to deal with it, you offer and you kind of do the splits and stuff. For me, it's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound bad, and it's the reason I like going to thrift stores instead of dealing with marketplace. I want to have as little human interaction as possible. So for me, that just takes stress off of me. So if somebody was like, "Hey, I wanna consign or do a deal with you," I would say, "How much do you want? How much are you trying to get at the end of the day?" And then I'd work out a deal with them to where they got what they wanted, but I knew they'd still be profitable. Because at that point, for me, there's no pressure because I would feel pressured if somebody gave me something to sell and then it sat here for 2 months, right? There'd be
Right.
a stopwatch on my head, like, dang, they're trusting me to sell this stuff, and for whatever reason, it's not moving in the time that they thought it would because they see me selling these other things. So I would rather pay somebody what they want if it worked for me and I knew I could still make profit, and then it could sit here till it sells. You're happy and I'm happy.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because I just want to say some hi to a lot of folks that just joined. Hey, Carla, thanks for coming in.
Hey, hey.
So, sorry for all that coughing in there.
You good, man?
I didn't see that, but because we live, you can't edit these out.
Nope. As you saw my live from Thursday, man, I was still
Yeah.
feeling sick. I'm sniffling and all kinds of stuff, but
Mhm.
it's just real life, right? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get sick. Gotta keep working.
Yeah, and the person Juniper Treasures just mentioned the same thing. It's just people keep asking, where the money at, and you just wind up paying them off. It goes back to what you're saying. It just instead of dealing with the headache,
Yeah.
let me just pay you right out what you want to get out of this deal. And I'm just trying to think about it because I'm actually planning on doing a full cash out of my credit cards to,
Okay.
and I'm deciding on what to do with it. So before I actually pull out the money, which is to either A, buy real estate with it. I'm only taking like maybe a quarter of what I actually have available in credit, so it's only like 20,000. And I was like, should I take 20,000 out at 5%, just a 5% one-time fee, and then it'll be 0% interest for a year and 6 months, so 18 months total.
Nice.
So I know that sounds great to actually start, start selling things on eBay, but is that what?
Take
I mean, technically, you said it would be
$30.
enough, huh?
$30.
$30 to get started.
Pull $30 to the side and get started. I'm telling you, you really don't need a lot. Like I said, for for me, let me say, how would I say it? I would spend, just because of the mistakes I made, I would spend the money on shipping supplies.
Okay.
Only what you need. Tape, if you need boxes, depending on what you sell. If you're selling shoes, you can get boxes free from USPS. Um, I would spend the money there because everything else you already got in your house. Right.
Nice.
If you want to start with, a little bit of money, sell stuff around the house, spend money on tape, boxes, printer ink, so you can print out your labels. But spending a bunch of money on inventory from doing it, I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Like if you were just starting all over again, just kind of start with the bare
Yeah.
necessities,
Yeah.
not like Jungle Book bare necessities.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just like, again, like, now, if, for example, if I was going to start another shoe eBay page, I would easily take $2,000 and dump in the shoe inventory because I know what I can do with it.
Right.
But just starting, like if I was starting over again, not knowing anything, just watching YouTube videos, I wouldn't have sold. I would have sold a few of my records, and then to get, just money to get started with what I already had, like get some boxes and stuff like that. But then I would have sold other things around the house that I didn't care about. I wouldn't have sold all my records. So you don't need a lot of money to get started.
All right. So somebody came to you and said, like, hey, I just want to buy your whole business. I want to buy your whole inventory, and you just got to stop being the business. What would be your price?
Wouldn't give them a price.
Okay.
For me right now, it's priceless.
Nice.
Right? Because I have the idea of where I know it can go, and it can only get there with me. And
Yeah.
that's my stubbornness. But I think it can. I think it could only go one way with me. Now in the future, we'll see. But right now, like it's priceless to me.
Okay. Yeah, Juniper is bringing in some heat over here, talking about some. I started with $40, and
Yep.
so all my junk. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, bro. If I can sell used shoes, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything has a value. And again, a year ago, if somebody said, "Yo, you could sell some shoes that I took a run in for 6 months," no, you can't. Like,
Right.
everything, there's people selling pots and pans, toasters, Keurigs. Like, you can literally sell anything. But again, shipping was one of my biggest mistakes. So solve your shipping problem first. Everything else will fall into place.
Nice. Yeah, for those of you who are listening to us on IG, and I know that IG doesn't allow you to move away from it, we also are live on YouTube. So you can actually have something in the background while you're doing some other things, while we chatting
What's
about
going
it.
on, man?
Huh?
The Hidden Owls, what's going on, man? He's good guy, man. He finds some fire shoes too, man.
Okay, so I got a lot of people to follow after this.
A lot of good people. I would have never known anything about any of this stuff if it wasn't for you giving me that nudge, like, yo, get on Instagram.
Right.
It's
That's
a
right.
whole new world, man.
Because all you had was just your personal page. I was like, dude, turn it into a business page and get rolling.
And I wasn't posting anything there about the business on my personal page. It was just, and I rarely was on there. Rarely was on there.
Now look at you. 1,000 people in. hanging out with everybody across the nation,
I know, man.
across the pond.
Doing lives.
Right.
It's crazy what you get into once you start, doing this stuff, or not even this, just putting yourself out there. It's incredible what you stumble into and then find out you enjoy.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of people forget. Hey, Johan, OMG approvals. He I actually interviewed him for the show. Actually
Nice,
went to school
nice.
together. Yeah,
What's going
uh,
on? Thanks for jumping in.
yeah, he great financial guy. Um, man, we talked heavy on finances on that episode. If you ever want to dive into from the beginning,
Yeah,
finances, yeah, OMG approvals. We went in on that stuff.
I
But
would
yeah,
that out.
yeah, because when it comes to just getting out there trying it, man, it's one of those things that a lot of us are afraid to do, and
Yeah,
I'm guilty. It's just one of those
me too.
that consistency piece. It's like, do I really feel like doing it? Do I want to turn on my phone for a couple seconds? What am I going to talk about? Like, what's happening today?
Yeah, I get it. I trust me. I don't want to clean shoes all the time. I don't want to list and take photos, but it's only going to work one way if I work, right? Like,
I like that. I like that.
I mean, that's what it boils down to, and how much do you want what you say you want?
Mhm.
I want it. So
You want it so bad, you don't even want to sell anything. I mean, you want to sell it, but not your business.
yeah,
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 okay.
yeah, yeah.
Man, that is awesome, dude. So, so now what you got doing today?
Today I got, you can't see it off camera, but I got about 20 shoes over there that have been listed since March, April, May, anywhere in that range. So all those things got delisted. I'll clean the listings up, and they'll go in the back area on a new shelf. So kind of rotating inventory with those items. I got 3 bins here of shoes that need to be cleaned. Need to be cleaned so I can get them listed, and then I got a bin over here that shoes are clean and I'll take pictures of. So
I
I
guess
got work everywhere.
the next question is, if the inventory isn't moving, do you just delist it and relist it?
Yes. So
Oh, that's cheating.
no, it's not cheating. At the end of the
Okay.
day, it's your inventory and you got to get it sold. So the way I look at it is, especially those, right, like March, April, May, when I was just starting to get into shoes, but I was still doing everything else. Um, it's either priced too high.
You
I
need
either
to cut it.
just a little bit.
I was just from the song, but yeah.
Yeah, no. It could be one of things, right? Like, um, it could be, your listing, your pricing, your photos. It could be anything. So I take them down, and then I go and then clean the listing up, change some things around, and relist it. Um, and the way I do it, eBay has this thing called sell similar. So it's an entire new listing is how it looks. There's a new item number and everything. You're not relisting the old listing. You're starting a new one. So you clean it up. And on average, let's say I do that for 10, maybe 2 or 3 will sell within a week. Because again, there's something that I did not do the first time when I listed it. So yeah, just staying on top of the inventory helps a lot. Now there probably will be some things that just don't sell, and I'll figure out what it is. And then if it doesn't sell, I'll see what the cost of goods were, and probably just redonate it and then keep it moving.
All right. Hey, Sonia. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Sonia was the one I interviewed. Actually, the latest episode. Right before yours, because we were talking about manifestation. So,
Oh yeah, I want to watch that. So what I'm trying to see what the comments say.
oh, it's if it's not moving, I don't care. It will sell eventually, but I need the space. So I revised
So
it.
exactly. That's it.
Okay.
So that's what it is. So there are 2 pairs of shoes here that I bought a while ago, and I know specifically I'm gonna yank those out because it was my fault. I didn't check them in the store. They're each are Vans,
Hmm.
and I thought they were specialty vans, and they were special. Somebody painted them by themselves. The,
Oh.
the company didn't do it, right? But I didn't discover that until I got them home because I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the store and check them out. Nobody's going to buy those custom, right? They're custom to somebody else's taste, so they're probably not going to sell. So those are going to get yanked, and they're going back to the store. Now that frees up 2 spots for me. It's like rent.
It's right.
They're renting space. They need to come up off their rent. So that's 2 spots that'll come out, and I can put two more shoes there that can actually yield some profits.
Because that's what Amazon charges anyway. When you actually leave, when you ship products to them,
Thanks,
they
man.
actually charge you from a monthly perspective.
Yeah,
Um,
for FBA. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna talk to Dana about that. Dana does really well with FBA. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
you rent space.
Yeah. Oh man.
So
Well,
that little thing.
are y'all going live on that one, or can I join in that conversation? Because I'm debating on what to put, and so if we can just kind of get like make it easy to kind of put stuff over to FBA for
Oh,
fulfilled by Amazon. Yeah.
so I was gonna ask him some questions on how to do it because I don't know. And it's something that I'm interested in um getting into once I get this business where it's kind of like not coasting,
Hmm.
but it's without even thinking. So once I get this there, then Amazon is next for me.
Right. And that's Amazon is going to be interesting, especially with the way how things going right now. Figuring out so many people going to be selling on it, how their policy is going to change, and so forth. Um, because it's already talking about like inflation is almost at the 5%,
Mm.
and every dollar that you have right now is kind of like it's pointless to kind of hold it. So in a sense, it's best right now to kind of spend it on something that you're really going to value, and then in your case, you actually value in your products or your business to move the product. So is there anything special on eBay that you can actually do to help market it a little bit better, almost like how we do it IG, where you can actually do sponsorships, or is it something different?
Yeah, so eBay has where you can do a few things. How do I say it? You can do a few things with your listing that will encourage eBay to push your listings higher. Like you can do free shipping and free returns. That'll boost you. You can do promoted listings, and that's just a percentage that you pick, and it tells you if you promoted 5%, this much will be deducted from your final sale. And they also have a suggested, in your category, people usually do this, but you could change it yourself. So you have that. What was the other thing? Promoting, free shipping, free listing. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, I mean it's
you
pretty
can
much
you can promote your listings, and that does help.
okay. Man, we might have to get this Juniper person up on this live right quick.
I wanted to. So what did they say about? I saw something about a vacuum, but I can't really see it. Can you tell me what it said?
Vacuum later, guys. Do you know who said it?
Yeah, Juniper.
Juniper said it. Let me keep scrolling. Started with $40. Trash treasure. It must have been a while back, dude. Keep asking for money to pay them off. Yeah, I don't see anything about a vacuum. You sure you're seeing things?
Let me see. Yeah, Kirby vacuum.
I
Here we
have
go.
one of those.
Made a mistake with shipping too. I got a free Kirby vacuum cleaner, and it's sold, and mistakenly took it to USPS front desk. I paid $45 for shipping. Oh
Wow.
goodness! But again, that's man. I've done it too.
That
I've
you know what
yeah, discount
happened? That was when I was that probably
yeah.
happened when I was signing into my Instagram on the web so I could stop following people while we're on here. That's what happened. So I missed that one
Oh,
blip.
okay, I got
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Listen, that's why I said figure out your shipping first because there have been a few times when I was offering free shipping, I
Mhm.
wasn't weighing my items, and I literally paid somebody to take my item. Right, like by the time shipping was done, I still
Wow.
the shipping took and everything that they paid because the item was so heavy. I put it as first class, but it obviously wasn't first class. It's anything over a pound. Yeah, shipping will destroy you if you don't factor it in. And everybody seems to think about it at the end because that's the last piece, and until it gets to the customer. But that would destroy any profit
Mm.
if you don't take it into account in the beginning.
Wow. So this Juniper person must have been doing this for a while. All right. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking
Ooh.
at the page, it looked like they sell everything. So
I should be following this person. I
you
should.
you're following.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, it's stuff like that. People coming in and offering their experience.
Hmm.
Like that's the only way for me that I've seen that works for me. Like people offering their real experience, not what they heard or what they read or what they saw. Like this is what I actually did and it worked. This is what I actually did and it didn't work because of XYZ. Right? Like
Right.
so. No, I appreciate those. I appreciate people sharing stuff like that because it's true. I've done it too. Like it was a pair of boots that I sent to Puerto Rico.
Right.
Yeah, I paid those. I paid for those.
Yeah. Man, it's been quite a bit. And thank you, Carla and Sonia, for hanging in there. Because I know we talking a lot of stuff that's kind of like outside of y'all know my wheelhouse. So, and me about finances, I'm always in there. So, but I actually recently had a discussion, I had a business talk with one of my friends today, actually a few hours ago,
Nice.
and she said she didn't like my slogan, and I was like, "What do you don't like about it?" She was like, "You can't even remember what your slogan is." So I was like, "No, I can't, but I can look it up."
Oh no.
But after some discussions, and I was like, "All right." So now my new slogan is the behaviors uh, behind financial habits,
Mm,
because that's pretty
huge.
much what I that's what I talk about, and that's what our person that's been on the show has talked about. Even Sonia and I, we were talking about just the manifestation and how to go about manifesting things, and really how to put in the work to achieve the goals or the expectations that you want uh, through manifestation. And that's one of the things. It's like, yeah, we want money, but also are we willing to put in the work for it? And like you already proved for yourself, you said your business is priceless, and that you already have manifest, like, you know what, my eBay business, I'm making $1 million from putting it out there. You're gonna be making $1 million from it, selling shoes, women running shoes, and let's get it going.
I'm nowhere near that, but
Oh,
I thank you for the manifesting that for me.
right.
But again, anything is. I'm definitely a believer that anything is possible if you plan and then work that plan and don't deviate from it.
Right.
Make slight adjustments here and there, but you have a proven method. Oh, keep going, keep
Right.
going.
So Sonia, my you asked what is my current slogan. My current slogan is on my IG page. It's called limited rules for long term gains. And but if you actually take it back a step further, it really is the behavior and mindset around your finances. And so that's what my whole purpose is about this show, is to really take you to that next level financially with the small segments and the small adjustments to your life. And every person that I bring on the show, for Eric, for example, his episode come out tomorrow. So make sure y'all
Yeah,
subscribe to the show.
super
Uh,
excited.
yeah, we talked quite a bit of that one. That was good.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and what it is seeing other people who actually took those small steps in their lives, and it took them to a whole nother level. So that's the whole purpose of my show, is to kind of bring forth, is like, hey, you know what? I never did this before, but I know somebody that's out there in the beginning stages that are actually doing it step by step, and they made so many mistakes along the way. And that's why I try to catch people while they coming out, fresh starting, as we all learn, because there's so many different areas in finances, there's so many different areas in the way we approach things. However, but there's a core subset of uh, it's a core subset of activities that we all do to be successful. And because it's so simple and it's so little, it just makes sense. Like the first thing you got to do is number one is believing yourself that you can actually do it. That's key.
It's,
Every yeah.
yeah, it can be hard. It can be hard.
Yeah, because every person I talk to, every interview, they always talked about, I just couldn't either, I couldn't fail. This is something I believed in. This is what's pushing me. I believe in the family. I know that this is possible for my family or even for myself, for my children, for my legacy. Like
Yep.
when I ask like the famous question, what does wealth mean to you? That right there sets the tone for everything, and everybody believes in themselves for it. I mean, I know I can go all day on that one, but
That's what it's about, though, man. That
yeah,
you're passionate and you believe that those things are attainable, right?
yeah,
Following those rules, and so do those other people.
yeah. I might have to come up with a thing instead of calling it, because I know there's the guy called himself what 19 keys. I don't want to talk about the keys. I might have to say it's at least a solid 9 key areas in life that you have to maintain. Or even if you go with the infinity stones, it's the exact same thing. Um, what are the things that you truly love? Are you willing to sacrifice for it? To obtain the things that you want.
They're all
Um,
sacrifices. Oh my
yeah,
god!
right.
But it could be it's temporary. It's temporary.
Temporary. Yep. Well, or it doesn't have to be temporary. You can keep it long term. Because some of those folks you don't need back in your life.
That's a hey. That's a you try to go a whole nother hour.
Hey, hey, we didn't even
That's
hit our first hour yet. We got eight
listen, man.
minutes. We
That's
got
whoo, buddy. Yeah, they're just there are certain things that for me, like you're right. Yeah, they can be for the long haul. There are just so many time wasting things that I've done. I'll just say me that I've done that I didn't even realize how much of time I was wasting until I cut those things out. And I'm like, oh, that's the 20 minutes that I had to do this. That's the 30
Mhm.
minutes I had to do this. And it's again, what do you really want? You want to sit around thumbing on Instagram or YouTube, or do you want to, set your store up or set your business up to, take care of you in the future?
Right.
So
And that's why, like with this show, I mean, again, I thank you for taking an hour from your family today just to kind of do this, because this is something that I think a lot of people need to take time out and listen, even if it's for like the last few minutes that they listen to it. Even though we were here for like 53 minutes so far, but it's just something that I think everybody should take time out to do is to understand what do they really want out of life. Back to the minimalism that we touched on for a little bit. Do you want to dive into that right quick before we get up out of here?
yeah, yeah. So we had a conversation about um like I said, I think me and my wife are occasional minimalists because every once in a while we'll go through these phases where we'll look around and say, we have X, Y, and Z, but we don't use it. It doesn't really mean anything. We don't have an attachment to it. And then that just snowballs into, oh, do you like that anymore? Nah, let's sell it. You want this? Don't care about it. Let's sell it. And it feels really good to get rid of those things, and then whatever we get back, put that into something that actually matters, whether that's savings, stock, or debt. Or for me, if it's my, some of my personal stuff, like, a Lego set or something that I got set up in my office, that's going into my business, right? Like that 20 or $30 could be 2 or 3 pairs of shoes that could then turn into $60, which is 6 pair of shoes, right? Those things, instead of sitting in the house doing nothing, could help be a piece of getting you to your ultimate goal. And man, I wish in my 20s I thought like this.
Yeah. The Juniper also was just wanted to share that they
What's
actually
up?
started they started in 2020. and then September 2020. So,
Absolutely.
is there any additional tips that you want to give them for the folks that are just starting out or just in a few months in?
Sounds like they started just like I did. Like I
Okay.
started last year. So the funny thing is when I originally started, I had a different name on eBay. It was Music Tech Nerd, and that's because I was selling vinyls and then electronics. So it was kind of fun, catchy, whatever, niche or not nichey, but kind of corny, whatever. But that's kind of what I was going for, and I made 1,000 mistakes again from inventory, not doing research, trying to do my own thing, um, spending way too much money on various things. Again, you don't. My only advice is do your research first. Find out what you want to get somebody in your house and sell it, and then figure out how you're going to ship it once it sells. Basic stuff to get started. Everything else you'll build on that, and then you can take it wherever you want to go after that, right? Like you could do it part time, just here and there for fun, like I originally did before I started like selling. Like it was just, no, I don't need this anymore. I sell it so I can buy something else that I want, like hobby stuff. Or you could scale it to the business of your dreams.
Nice. Yeah, because I was wanted to touch on the minimalist piece of it because obviously we see a lot of shoes in the background. However, this is part of the minimalist approach,
Yeah,
which is not to indulge in things that don't matter to you. And that's the cool thing about minimalism is being able to fine tune your focus into the things that you really want to happen in your life. And it's like how we can go full circle with this because
yeah.
we got manifestation, we got
It
the
was fun,
ability
right?
to sell for your lives. I mean, not sell for your life, but the ability to sell things at the same time, but also make ends meet by, you know, downsizing your property, but downsizing it through eBay. Just like how you said, just start with the things around the house, sell
Mhm.
everything that you don't want, and make capital. And then from the financial piece, which I love, is that you can take that money to pay off your loans that you have outstanding. You can help pay your rent,
Yeah.
with the rent moratorium that's happening right now.
Yep.
You got the student loans that you can actually try to dive into because they pushed that out till January
Super
31st.
excited about that, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna talk to you about that. I'm so happy
Really?
because I didn't hear about it until I saw when you posted it, and then I started looking into it.
Right.
So happy for that.
And then on top of that, you got I just found this out, which was about the insurance companies. When you get into an accident, I didn't know this. This is a small tidbit for the last 3 minutes. Is like if you get into an accident and your car isn't totaled, you actually liable. Actually, it's you're right actually to actually call up the insurance company, your personal insurance company, and ask for a depreciation value claim.
Mm,
And what that does is, even after your car is fixed, now your car value is a lot less. You call up your insurance company and say that, hey, I want to have a claim, and they'll reevaluate it. They usually lowball you on that amount,
of course.
but if you didn't know about it, it's still free money. So
Absolutely.
you can always ask for more than what they gave you, and say, no, my car is worth a lot. It depreciated a lot more than what you're giving me,
Yeah.
and then they have the right to say no. But these are one of the things that I really want to share with everybody that's listening right now. I don't need that many people. As long as I could change one life, that's great.
Hey,
So
all you
because
one. Yeah.
yeah, because the only reason why I found this out because I was in an accident. So I was like,
Right.
shoot, if they don't total my car, that depreciation
Yeah.
value claim is coming through in like the next 10 minutes after that. So yeah.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. So we down to 1 minute left. Is there anything else you
Wow.
want to leave with everybody? I mean, it don't even feel like we've been here for an hour yet.
Man, time
Right.
flies when you're having fun, man. And
Yeah.
as many times you want to do these lives, brother, I'm down because it's important. It's very important. And I say that as somebody that would watch those videos on YouTube and say, I don't have time to do it, or it's not possible. I don't have the money to do it. You can do more than you think you can do. Give yourself the chance. Like if that's probably what I would leave anybody with. You can trust yourself. You can do more than you think. You'll be surprised what you can do.
All right. Well, that's all I got for today, sir. So And thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank
All
y'all.
of you all who are here on Instagram. I ain't see nobody on YouTube, but either way, it was fun.
Throw it
I
up,
had a
man.
good time. You, you said throw
You
it
know,
up.
I told you I'm a like a podcast nerd. I'll rewatch the same thing over and over again. So this is
Okay.
gonna be on in the car in the morning. So
Okay. Well, you gotta listen. You gotta catch up because you got your other episodes to catch.
for sure, for sure.
Right. So I'll see how I can work this into the podcast. So I might just say like a sub episode or a special,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I'm Sunday special, man.
Your Sunday.
Yeah, these are dope, man. I really do enjoy. I really enjoyed this. It's cool.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for your time. Again, you have a good one, sir.
All right,
All right.
man.
All right. See
Peace.
it in that broadcast.